What's the reason recruiters are unable to close a position? This is a question Harish asked me just on Messenger, and I thought it could be a great idea to answer this question for some of you guys who may also wonder, as Harish, what's the reason recruiters are unable to close a position? And he continues, sometimes I work hard on requirements, but I'm unable to close them. So from my experience, there are usually three reasons why a situation like this happens. So let's dive a little deeper. And I will walk you through one by one, okay? So first, the reason you may not be able to get a good candidate is probably because you don't understand the requirement. And this happens really often because IT recruitments are full of often nonsense, right? There are so many bullet points with so many technologies. Many of them are unrelated. Often it's not clear what is must-have requirement and what is just nice-to-have requirement. And there are so many different buzzwords and terms, etc. So if you are not able to analyze the job requirement and extract some meaningful value, then obviously you will struggle in the next steps of the recruitment cycle. The second mistake I see happening on the market among other recruiters also is actually sourcing and matching the right candidates. So if you are looking, for example, for a DevOps engineer, it may be straightforward, right? Like you see the word DevOps, it's a proper keyword, so you start sourcing for DevOps engineers on LinkedIn, and this is relatively easy. But what if you have a more complicated, more complex requirement, such as a full stack developer who worked with some front-end technology and JavaScript or C# on the backend, right? Like, how do you find such people? Especially, we were just discussing it recently with another group of recruiters who were looking for a developer who had 2 years of experience with progressive web apps. So first, you need to know what is a progressive web app, and then how to actually target those people on LinkedIn, even if it's not really possible. Like, it is possible to type PWA as a keyword, but developers often don't just put it on LinkedIn. So you need to sort of read between the lines, like who could be a good fit for a progressive web app developer? You know, someone who has worked with mobile apps before, someone who has used frameworks such as React Native or Ionic or Cordova probably, or Titanium Accelerator, like some of these frameworks that are related to web development. Okay, so sourcing and matching the right candidates is super important skill. So if you find yourself struggling with sourcing candidates, it's also probably because you don't really know what are the must-have skills and how to find these developers. So I would advise you to again take a few steps back and learn the IT fundamentals, because it will only help you on your journey as a sourcer and recruiter. You will find out how to match these developers to your positions. And the mistake, actually, to answer Harish to your question, the mistake number 3 I see is actually you may be successful in analyzing the job requirement. You may be successful in identifying who is a good fit. You may find 5-10 good candidates, but then you still don't close it, right? You mentioned that you are unable to close the position, and you may not be able to close a position because you don't get developers or IT professionals excited enough. So think about it for a while. Like, these days, there is zero unemployment in IT. Like, who can code is already coding for some company. And probably, you know, there was some downtime now with the coronavirus outbreak. Just in general, this is the situation on the market. It was before COVID, it will be next year. So who can code is already coding somewhere. There may be some exceptions in some regions based on the current economic situation, but on a say high level, on general, like, people with some software development, IT skills can find jobs easily. So if we take this as granted, they already have a good job, relatively okay-ish job. When I say okay, well, obviously everything is relative, but we don't have to work hard on a field anymore. We don't have to, work manually. We just, sit by the computer and do something. So it's okay-ish job. So then the question for you as a recruiter is, how do you get people who already have a good, relatively good job to get to another job that you would like them to take? Okay, so for you as a recruiter, as a headhunter, as a talent hunter, it's important to think, hey, how do I get these 5 or 10 candidates who are a good fit for this position? How do I get them excited? How do I explain them some positives of this particular position? How do I get them excited about the team or the company? Because at the end of the day, they have to leave their current job or wait for the contract to end, and only then they can join your great opportunity. So these are my takeaways, Harish, for you. If you are unable to close a position, there are most likely these 3 reasons. Obviously there could be some more, but based on my experience working with recruiters in different countries, like this is most often the case. I've seen people who spend days working on a job requirement without actually understanding who they are looking for, which doesn't make any sense, right? You would not do this normally. So make sure you don't make this mistake also. Make sure you know how to source based on the right keywords, who is the right fit. And sometimes we need to rewrite the job requirement to make more sense, because that normal traditional job requirement is super boring, super long, with so many bullet points that it just doesn't fit the current situation on the market. So Harish, if you or anyone else watching this video would also like to get better at these skills, analyzing job requirements, figuring out how to source and match the IT candidates to your vacancies, and if you would like to speak with IT professionals with confidence while getting them excited about this position on the market, I have actually a special offer for you guys still now in December 2020, because on December 2020, actually until the December 31st, we have a special offer, like year-end special offer available with all these materials. I have some of these materials here, like clear job requirements, which will help you analyze those difficult to understand job requirements. Plus the Confident Interviews book, which will help you realize what kind of questions to ask, so you have meaningful discussions with IT professionals. My recruitment method, which exposes how I source some of the really difficult to fill positions, for example, IT managers, and a lot more materials, mind maps and everything, which will only help you get better and get more results at the end of the day, because that's what matters, right? You don't want to become better just for the sake of getting better. You want to thrive in IT recruitment, you want to fill more positions, you want to get more commissions and bonuses, you want to even get more commissions and bonuses on the side. So that's what we can help you with. So just go to yearendspecial.com and you will find the offer that I have prepared for people like you who just want to fill more IT positions and enjoy it next year. Because I know it must be frustrating if you spend time finding developers for a role you don't understand, or talking to developers if you don't know what to ask them. So that's why I've been working on this program that can take someone probably like you who has never worked in IT and you are confused with all this terminology, and I can help you transition to a position where you are a confident recruiter who can analyze job requirements, who can speak with IT candidates with confidence and earn decent bonuses and commissions even on the side. So just go to Year End Special and I'll be looking forward to working with you soon.